Hey everybody, Ryan FMTG here, and today we are talking about all the purple cards from TOA. And, this is the third set review, so I've kind of already given my disclaimers, well, twice now, because we talked about the red and green cards. So you know what? We're just jumping right into it today, talking about the purple legendary unit, well, one of two. This is God's Gift. It is 3 MP for a 1/6. This unit's attack cannot be blocked. While on the field, give the unit that takes 1 damage every 5 seconds to the unit in front. Resonate? Return this unit to your EX pocket. There's a lot of things going. So base stats, it's 3 MP for a 1/6, which 6 is a lot of HP, 1 is very, very little attack. However, this unit cannot be blocked. That's actually kind of nice. So that means every time that it's attacking, it's just hitting directly the opponents and never the opponent's units. And it is weakening the opponent's unit because that opponent unit in front is always taking, every 5 seconds it takes 1 damage, and that adds up over time. And the resonate trigger feels like a downside, but it's actually kind of an upside because this is just a 3 MP play. So as soon as this is about to die because of HP, you just do a cantrip or whatever action card you have, you jump it to hand, and then you play it in front of a unit that you want to peen every 5 seconds. So overall, I think God's Gift will see quite a bit of play because it is just a 3 MP investment, and purple loves to play cheap units sometimes, as well as tons of resonate and ways to enable it with actions and stuff like that. Lord is the other legendary unit in purple. It is 6 MP for a 110, so quite a lot more expensive, but a 110, yet again, very little attack, tons of HP. It has shield and growth 2. Growth 2 is super easy to get. Level 2, gain +1 attack damage. Okay, pretty good. Level 3, gain +1 attack. So right there, that's kind of 2 attack or 1 attack, depending on what you are attacking. And level 4, it gains combo and spillover. So overall, with all the growth and everything, this is a 6 MP that will get +1 attack damage, then +1, and then combo and spillover. Drop this in the middle lane, and this is going to be throwing damage left and right. This is 6 MP, and purple has a lot of heavy hitters at 6, 7 MP plays, like you can be playing Ibuki, stuff like that. But combo and spillover are great together and so efficient. Even like throw a pump spell and give this some more attack, throw in the middle lane and have fun. Kanbe is 5 MP for a 3/7 with slow. It has growth 3, so slow's not too good, growth 3 is fantastic. Level 2, gain +1/+1 and spillover. That's pretty sweet. Level 3 is gain +1/+1 and loses slow. So as long as you get to achieve all 3 levels, which isn't that hard because that's just 6 MP worth of units, this will get +2/+2, so that means it'll be a 5/9 with spillover just for 5 MP. That seems like very good stats with a great keyword for a pretty low cost, so I'm pretty high on this card. Kenshin is 3 MP for 1/7. It says, when on the field, give all other friendly units +1 attack damage. It's all other friendly, not themselves, so you have to note that. After dealing damage to the enemy hero, inflict a random enemy unit with halt for 5 seconds. Overall, this card has a lot of things going for it. 3 MP for 1/7. Not good attack by any means, but 7 HP means it will stick around, and kind of pumping up your other team with the +1 attack damage is nice. It kind of stinks that it doesn't pump up itself, but is what it is. And then the whole dealing damage to the enemy hero and inflicting something with halt is nice, but how often is this going to deal damage to the enemy hero, because they could just place something in front of this and then it kind of nullifies that. So there's a lot of things going on about this card, but I just don't really particularly like it. I don't really see playing it that much. Kasuga is 4 MP for 1/8 with some somewhat lewd art going for her, but she has agility and combo. 4 MP for 1/8 with agility and combo seems extremely strong, right? We kind of see some black, purple, resonate pump spell decks right now. She seems to fit into that. Yes, she just has 1 attack, throw any pump spell on her. She has agility. She's going to be hitting so frequently and then combo so hard. So just like getting the attack up to 2 or 3 is going to make her must kill threat. So I really like this, and I think she's going to easily find a home in very aggressive pump spell centric purple decks. Maida is 5 MP for a 2/7. When an enemy unit appears in front, deal damage to enemy hero equivalent to own attack. Okay, kind of interesting. It's a kind of purple burn, as it were. Ascend, it gains +2/+3. So that means if you ascend this, it would be 5 MP for a 4/10 that every single time your opponent places something in front of him, he just deals 4 damage to the opponent. That seems really good for 5 MP. So I kind of like this like burn to the face, but also the body is hefty himself. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You're getting some reach and then just a good solid body. Next up, we have 4 MP for 3/2. Not great stats. Death give a random friendly purple unit flight and shield. I do like flight and shield a lot. So if you are really in the market for giving some of your units flight and shield, kind of maybe like really good, like the agility and combo girl that we just saw a couple minutes ago, then maybe you'll play this card. But at the same time, you could just play hookshot and other things to give yourself flight and shield. So like, well, hookshot doesn't give a shield, but you know, you could play other actions that sometimes fit better with purple. And this just seems a little finicky if this is all that you're doing. And to be honest, you are playing a 4 MP unit for a 3/2. You are just playing this for the effect. So I think there's other better ways to get the effect that this card is trying to achieve. Mika is 3 MP for a 2/5. When an enemy unit dies, draw 1 card and put it into your EX pocket. Let's look at the MP cost and attack and stuff. So it's 3 MP for a 2/5. That's pretty good stats right there. Nothing like broken, but nothing too weak. 3 MP for a 2/5, pretty good rates. Drawing cards to your EX pocket always feels nice. However, it's when an enemy unit dies, you do have some control over that, right? But at the same time, it takes some to set up. It's not just like, oh, whenever you play an action, you draw a card or something like that. So I think Mika has things going for it, but I don't really find it a home for it because it's not that powerful in it of itself. So it's not killing that many cards. You need to have this on the field, and then you either need to have units that will be killing other units or actions in hand to kill other units. So overall, I'm kind of down on Mika. Neo is 3 MP for a 2/5. When played, if there is a friendly purple unit with growth at an MP cost of 5, very restrictive here, or more on the field, gain nullify damage 13 seconds. Okay, 3 MP for a 2/5. We've kind of talked about these stats. They're fine. They're pretty darn good. However, to get the nullify damage for 13 seconds, you have to have a friendly purple unit with growth that costs 5 or more, and overall those just seem so many hoops to jump through, and a lot of times I think this will just be a 3 MP 2/5, and I do not want to play that card. Amago is 4 MP for a 2/6, so decent stats. If friendly units have leveled up 5 or more times, so a decent amount of level up, kind of hard to get to, but not extremely hard to get to, return a random enemy unit with 2 or less attack to their deck. 2 or less attack is very narrow, right? That's kind of murder spikes. To be fair, murder spikes is a very good removal spell because there are a lot of 2 or less attacks. So this has 2 things that you have to do. You have to make sure you're playing this unit with growth, because you need to level up things 5 or more times, and this unit does not have growth themselves. And you really want your opponent to be playing cards with 2 or less attack. If you can have both of those more times than not, then I think this card is very good because bounce spells are fantastic, right? Purple loves to bounce things, and it always is a headache for your opponent to deal with. But if you cannot reliably get both of those online, you are not going to be playing a 4 MP card for 4 MP 2/6. Kojuro is 3 MP for a 2/5. When played, give shield to a random friendly unit with growth at an MP cost of 5 or more. So yet again, we're getting you have to have something with growth and an MP cost of 5 or more. Those are very, very specific things, and you're only giving that thing shield. To be fair, shield is a very, very powerful thing, especially in purple when like you don't just have wall jump or something or block, something like that. But 3 MP for a 2/5, like I said before, those are pretty darn decent stats. But with all the hoops to jump through just to get shield, I think there's better things you could be doing in purple. Next up is purple's imp, but it's not called purple imp, it's called blue imp. So that's just a little confusing, but whatever. He's dancing, he's having fun. He is a 3 MP, 2/4 spirit. It says, Death, give a spirit unit in your deck -1 MP and add it to your EX pocket. MP cost cannot drop below 1. This I kind of like because it's basically taking something from your deck, putting it into your EX pocket, and making it cheaper to cast. However, like I said with the red and green imp, or just spirits in general, there doesn't seem to be tons of spirits. So if there's good spirits, I could see playing the blue imp, but the spirits have not been impressing me that much, so I'm kind of off him right now. Clay Flyer is up next, is 4 MP for 2/7. When a friendly spirit unit dies, give all enemy units -1 attack, effective for 1 attack. Yet again, kind of like what I just talked about the blue imp, if they're spirits, this could be pretty good, right? Because it just makes your spirits a little bit heftier because it's weakening your opponent's units, so they are going to be trading better and more frequently, but there's just not tons of spirits I really want to be playing, so I'm sorry, Clay Flyer, I'm probably not really going to be flying with you. Bingo! 4 MP for 2/7. When played, a random friendly unit with Explore performs Explore. This card could be great. 4 MP for 2/7, pretty decent stats, and just when you play it, one of your units just explores and you get that to your EX pocket. Imagine doing this with Jury, right? Where you really, really want to get that explored because that Explorer is so good, or even like a Detonation or something like that. So if you can make a purple or purple, whatever other color, Explore deck, I could actually be seeing play some bingos here. Madam is 3 MP for a 2/5. When played, add 1 action card with an MP cost of 1 MP or less from your deck to your EX pocket. It's nice, right? It's a 3 MP 2/5 with some value of basically drawing a card. However, you have to be playing 1 MP action cards. You know, with Foresight, stuff like that. That's not too hard. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think this is a bad card. I just don't think it's that exciting. And I think there's other better things that you could be doing with your MP. Goto is 6 MP for a 3/8. Ascend, gain +1/+2 and return a random enemy unit with an MP cost of 4 or less to their deck. Kind of like this card, right? If you ascend this, you have to ascend this, right? You do not want to play this for 6 MP for a 3/8. But if you ascend this, it's going to become a 6 MP play that is a 4/10. That's a lot of stats. That is a big purple unit that bounces a 4 or less MP card to the opponent's deck. That is extremely good, right? Because it's basically 4 or 3 MP bounce. That's a pretty good card, and you do play some action cards that have that, and this is just attached to a beefy body. Yes, it is 6 MP, which is a little expensive, but overall, the stats of the effects are kind of there. Time to talk about the last purple unit of the set is 4 MP for a 4/3 with growth of 4, so a little bit higher than growth 3, but not that much higher. Level 2, it says if 3 or less damage would be dealt to this unit, it becomes 1 damage instead, which is always a nice effect, especially when this unit just has 3 HP. Level 3 is give all enemy units -1 attack effective for 1 attack, which is also kind of nice because this will nullify a lot of damage across the board. Overall, though, this is a 4 MP 4/3 with some good effects. So I don't think this is a bad card. I just don't really see it being played, besides if there is a growth-centric purple deck that you want to get your growth count up and up and up, then this could definitely see a home. Other than that, probably not. Okay, time to talk about all the purple action cards, and this is usually where purple really has its power and fun with. First up is the legendary. This is Diplomacy of Love. It's 3 MP. If your hero is purple, they give -1 attack and slow to all enemy units for 20 seconds. Now, 20 seconds is, I believe, the shortest amount of time for these types of effects, and that is not that long. However, -1 and slow will nullify a lot of damage and just make their units, well, slow. It says it in the name. And I think this could see play in a lot of purple decks, especially a Dante burn list that just wants to halt all your stuff and burn the opponent. Diplomacy of Love will definitely see play in there because it is just 3 MP. So do I think this is the best one of this cycle? No, I do not, but I do think it's pretty darn good and will find some home and some play. Stolen Hope is up next. This is a 4 MP action that says give -2 attack to all enemy units effective for 1 attack. -2 attack is a lot. However, this is a 4 MP play and that's all that it does. I think it's kind of weak, right? I think you're spending a lot of MP for, yes, an effect that will affect units, but I don't know, there's better purple actions to be played. One-Eyed Dragon's value. It's 2 MP, okay, nice and cheap. Give Crush, effective for 1 attack, to a friendly unit with growth. That unit performs an instant attack. 2 MP, very cheap. Crush, kind of nice. Instant attack is fantastic, right? Especially with Crush, because if they don't have something, you just instant attack their face. If they do have something, you instant attack and your unit just crushes their unit. So that is very nice. However, this has the caveat that has to be a friendly unit with growth. So if you're playing a growth deck or with a lot of heavy hitters with growth, this could definitely be a nice inclusion in that deck. And if you're not playing growth units, obviously you're not going to be playing this. Tao Master's Prophecy is 4 MP with a little sleepy wolf in the forefront of the card. It says deal 4 damage to an enemy unit. Your hero gains life equal to the damage dealt. When added to your hand or EX pocket, if there is a unit card in your EX pocket, give self -2 MP. That's a lot of words, right? So base level is 4 MP to deal 4 damage to an enemy unit and you gain 4. That's a good effect, but not for 4 MP, right? We have Splendid Buffet and other effects that are cheaper and more efficient. However, this can become 2 MP if you have a unit in your EX pocket. So with things like Foresight, stuff like that, that you draw into things with your EX pocket, you could hopefully make this cheaper. But my big question is, how often are you making this cheaper? Because to really have me play this card has to be 2 MP. 90% of the time, and I don't really see that happening, so I'm probably not going to play this card when I could just play, Splendid Buffet or something like that. War God's Perception is 2 MP. Inflict halt on an enemy unit with an MP cost of 5 or less for 5 seconds. That unit gains. This unit cannot block enemy attacks for 5 seconds. So, Purple has a long history of halt spells. This is a pretty good one, but also we now kind of get some MP, 1 cost MP halt spells for 5 seconds. So overall, I don't think this is the most powerful halt spells, and we definitely have enough to play with. But if you are in the market for the second clause of this unit cannot block enemy attacks, if you're playing Jury or something like that, that you just kind of want to use this as like pseudo evasion, then yeah, you play this. If not, there's other better halt spells to be had. Bone Divination is 1 MP. Okay, kind of a little scared because 1 MP purple actions can be kind of really good. Give a friendly unit at maximum growth death gain +2 MP. Interesting. So it's an MP battery with 2, right? So you pay 1 and you get 2, so you're really just netting 1 MP. And you have to be playing this with growth units. Also, a growth unit on board that has already reached max growth. That's a lot of hoops to jump through for really just netting 1 MP, and I'm kind of off of it. Sown in Sand, 2 MP. If friendly units have leveled up 5 or more times, negate an action card with an MP cost 4 or less. So obviously you are only playing this in a growth-centric deck because you have to have 5 growth points or more. So even if you have 1 growth unit or something, you are definitely not playing Sand in that deck. But if you are playing a growth deck, this could be kind of good because to negate an action card with MP cost 4 or less just for 2 MP is very good. However, note, this is just negating an action card. This cannot negate a unit. So first up, you have to be playing a growth-centric deck. And second off, you have to be worried about 4 MP or less actions from the opponent, which to be fair, just off the top of my head, black removal like Murder Spikes and Fate of the Unworthy, this could counter. So I don't know, depending where the meta goes and depending how good a purple growth deck is really going to make Sand good to not seeing you play at all. The last purple card is Dragon's Right Eye. This is 2 MP, return an enemy unit with 3 or less HP to their deck. That could be really good because 3 or less HP could just be right off the bat. You could bounce something to their deck, or you hurt it a little bit with trades or Splendid Buffet or something like that, and then bounce something that has, a bigger MP cost because you already weakened it down to 3 or less HP. But by that time, you might as well kill it, depending. But bounce spells are always really good. This one is a little bit different because it is just looking at HP. So if there's tons of low HP units that you would love to bounce, spending 2 MP to bounce that seems like a very good play. So yet again, kind of a meta decision, or how much can you weaken your opponent's units, and then how much do you want to just bounce that unit back to the board rather than trying to kill off the final little bit of HP that unit has. So those are all the purple cards. I'm not going to lie, purple seemed a little bit more underwhelming to me at first glance compared to red or green, where overall there is some very, very good purple cards. Definitely very good purple cards. Some build around, some just easy inclusions, but also some cards that just seem like weaker versions of cards that we already have. That makes me just be like, yeah, I'll play that card over that. I'm not saying that, oh my god, purple got no new toys, because they definitely did. And I think some of the cards that I am underrating right now will prove themselves over time. So am I as excited about the new purple cards as some of the other colors? No, I'm not. But am I still excited about new cards in general? Yeah, I sure am. But next time we will be talking about all the black cards. Maybe black will be more powerful or less powerful than purple, but we will see. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.